All right, let's talk about something every developer faces at some point, the full stack code challenge. You know the deal. You get through the first couple of interviews, and then they hand you this giant spec sheet. It can feel like you've been given the blueprint for a skyscraper, but with no instructions. Well, today, we're going to change that. We're breaking that blueprint down piece by piece.
So you get that spec sheet, you open it up, and whoa. There are requirements, tasks, bonus points. It can feel pretty overwhelming. It's a lot to take in at once.
But here's the thing. You don't have to worry. We're going to walk through this whole thing together. We're going to turn that intimidating document into a clear step-by-step guide. By the end of this, you'll have a solid plan of attack.
Okay, let's dive right in. Our mission is to build a full-stack weather application. And we'll be using the WeatherBit API to get our data. This is a classic challenge, and it's designed to test a whole range of your skills.
So, what does full stack really mean in this context? Well, put simply, it's a project that shows a potential employer you can build a complete, working piece of software from the ground up. We're talking about everything from what the user clicks on, all the way to the server in the background that's actually fetching all the data.
Now for the really fun part. What is our app actually going to do? You know, the key to any good project is to first understand the core features. This is the foundation, right? It's everything we're about to build.
And lucky for us, the challenge breaks down really neatly into 3 main tasks. You can almost think of them as the essential rooms in our house. We've got a view for the current weather, another for the forecast, and a way to remember where we've been.
First up, the current weather display. Pretty straightforward. User enters a city, you show its current conditions. But look closely. The spec is super specific about the data points. They're telling you exactly what to pull. Notice it's not just temperature, but also the feels like temp, and even the air quality index. There's no guesswork needed here.
Next, we're building the 16-day forecast to give the user a longer-term view. And again, the requirements here are just as specific. It covers everything from the daily max and min temps to the probability of precipitation. They even want detailed wind info. This shows they're really testing your ability to handle more complex data, not just simple strings and numbers.
And finally, the search history feature. This is where the persistence part of the challenge really comes in. The app has to remember the last 5 cities the user searched for, and it has to be easy for them to just click back to a previous search. Super important.
Okay, so we've got the blueprint. We know what we need to build. Now, let's talk about the tools. This section is all about the how, the tech stack that's going to bring our weather app to life.
Your project is really split into 2 distinct parts. You've got the front end, that's everything the user sees and interacts with, and then you have the back end, which is doing all the heavy lifting behind the scenes, like talking to that external WeatherBit API.
Now, this is what's really interesting here, the freedom you have. They aren't testing if you've memorized one specific framework, they're testing your problem-solving skills. By letting you choose, they get to see how you build things with the tools you know best. Whether it's React, Vue, or even just plain old vanilla JavaScript, this is your chance to shine.
And that exact same freedom extends to the back end. You get to pick the language or framework where you're strongest. Are you a Python developer? Go for it. You love JavaScript? Node.js is a fantastic choice. The key is to play to your strengths and show them your best work. So let's talk about the crucial point. How do you make your project stand out from the rest? I mean, building the core features is great, but adding that professional polish, that's what separates a good submission from a truly great one.
And let's be clear, these aren't really optional. In the real world, they're must-haves, and they are here too. A professional project has to work well on any device, a big desktop monitor or a small phone, and it absolutely has to handle errors gracefully. What happens if the API is down, or if the user types in a fake city? Your app needs an answer for that.
Want to really impress them? The challenge actually includes several bonus features that can boost your score. This is where you can show that you're thinking beyond just the basic requirements.
And this right here is a perfect example of a pro-level technique. Caching data, storing it temporarily instead of fetching it every single time, is just so efficient. It saves on API calls, and it shows you're thinking about performance and scale. It's a small detail that says a whole lot about your experience.
Okay, we are at the finish line. You've built the app, you've added the polish, and now it is time to submit. So let's talk about how you'll hand in your work, and more importantly, how it's all going to be judged. It all comes down to 3 equally important areas. First, functionality. Does it actually work like it's supposed to? Second, code quality. Is your code clean, well-structured, easy to read? And third, UI/UX. Is the app intuitive and, pleasant to use? A perfect score means you've got to have excellence in all 3.
And there you have it. That complex spec is now a clear roadmap. You've got the complete plan from the very first line of code to the final evaluation. The only thing left to do now is open up your editor and start building. Good luck.